Hello everyone, it's Jordan here with a quick review of Radical Dreamers. You may have seen over on Switch Watch I did a review of the main game, but I wanted to save a review of Radical Dreamers for VN Paradise. What is Radical Dreamers? Well, Radical Dreamers was a super obscure sequel of sorts to the legendary JRPG Chrono Trigger. But this is not a JRPG, well, not in the usual sense of the genre. No, in fact, this is an interactive text adventure game which some weird people on the internet may call a visual novel. A chrono visual novel? Well, kinda. This is more of a spin-off that initially wasn't intended to be connected to the series, but ended up having Chrono Trigger references thrown in at the last minute, and then, years later, ended up being the seed for the creation of Chrono Trigger's proper, but not quite sequel, Chrono Cross. It's a series that's hard to get your head around, but forget that, let's judge Radical Dreamers on its own merit. While it is a visual novel, it's also very much an interactive text adventure, and sure, we could get into semantics and argue if there's any difference, but I will say this is not your bog standard VN. It's like a choose your own adventure book, but with minimal audio and visual presentation. The story stars Surge, our human energy drink, Kid, a headstrong thief, and Major, a mysterious mage. All three of them are thieves, and we begin as they are about to infiltrate Lynx's mansion. Yes, if you play Chrono Cross, that name will ring a bell. The mansion is full of tricks and puzzles, alongside some beasties defending it. As it's a choose-your-own adventure type game, you can choose where in the mansion you'll travel to next, turning left or right, going straight ahead. If you come across a door, you can choose to enter or not. It's basic exploration, and the mansion isn't huge in itself, so while it may seem daunting having to remember where things are located as you backtrack, the game is helpful in navigating while not making it too easy. There's no map, but when you take choices to a place that you've been before, it will add extra info as to where you're headed, such as turning left towards the atrium or turning right towards the study, that kind of thing. As you have one goal in your mind, the story is very focused. It will last about 2 hours at a push, and I have to say, it is simple, but I really enjoyed it. The narration is very descriptive, the puzzles are interesting, and I very much went back to being 11 years old again with an adventure book in my hand, but now with a Square Enix logo slapped on it. Brilliant. You have so many choices to make, especially when it comes to battles, because yeah, you do have turn-based fights of sorts, not your usual JRPG stuff, but you have to make momentary decisions such as will you dodge or will you attack, amongst many other varied things. It's really cool, but rather arbitrary since there's pretty much zero way of knowing which is the better choice. So it's pretty much random luck like 90% of the time, whether you took the correct course of action or not. I mean, should you dodge roll, jump backwards, or attack? How the frig am I supposed to know? And for me, that's cool. You're rolling the dice at each opportunity, and it's fun to see how it will end up. You don't feel punished for it since it's quite difficult to actually mess up so much that you die, but I can feel some people not enjoying this aspect as much as myself. If you, like myself, felt like the characters in Chrono Cross were a bit underdeveloped, then Radical Dreamers may be some very welcome reading material, especially for Cross's extremely beige hero, Surge. Sure, while the two Surges shouldn't be considered one and the same, because I don't believe they technically are, I really like to believe they share the same personality, because Surge in Radical Dreamers actually has a personality. He has his own voice. And while he's not the most interesting character in the story, it's still a million times better than he is in Cross. And if I transpose this sort of feeling he gives me here into Cross, it definitely gives him an extra layer. So yeah, I feel Radical Dreamers enhances Chrono Cross, even if their story connection may want to make your head explode. This game features one main storyline alongside 6 other endings that can be explored once you've finished the first storyline, which in itself I've been told has 3 different endings. I don't know exactly which one I got, but I'm pretty sure it would be categorized as the utterly bad one. I don't think I could have got a worse one even if I tried. I'll definitely have to go back and see the hopefully better endings of the main plotline. because the ending is actually based on your decisions, specifically the hidden affection system between Surge and Kid. If you constantly make decisions that impress her, you'll likely get the best ending. However, if you're like me and make a complete tool of yourself at every chance, you'll probably get the bad ending. Again, just like the battles, this can feel a little bit random, but on a second playthrough, you should get a feeling about what impresses her more the next time around. The other 6 plotlines are usually a bit more zany, a bit comedic, and these can be unlocked after the first time playing through. I don't think they're essential, but they really do add extra playtime to the game. While I normally would recommend finding these out by yourself, you have to remember Radical Dreamers is 25 years old, made on a tiny budget in a couple of months, and thrown onto a service which could be compared to something like the Stadia of today. It was a commercial failure. So whether the quality of life features we generally see today were common back then or not, they didn't even have the inclination to do them anyways. It's not the easiest VN to go back to and get all the endings. There's no chart system to indicate what you've done already or where the turning points are. There's no way to skip text that you've already seen. So even though the main story is pretty short, about 2 hours at a push, you'll still be wading through a lot of the text you've read before if you want the other plot lines. So yeah, get a guide. Even the badly written ones online will do. Although fingers crossed, by the time you guys get this in your subscription box, someone may have taken the opportunity to make a clearer guide with this re-release. Fingers crossed. So Radical Dreamers is available on all major consoles, packed in with the Chrono Cross remaster. While I don't think it's worth buying the package for Radical Dreamers alone, I think it's a very nice bonus for Chrono Cross. It really enhances the value of the game for me. It's only available physically on the Switch, and that's only in Asian regions. But that does have English, and should be available soon-ish, maybe in a week or two by the time this video goes out. If you want to get this physically, you want to import it, then you can also support VN Paradise at the same time by clicking the link in the description and the pinned comments. If you purchase it, we will also earn something too. We're not monetized as of yet, close to it, but not quite, so it is the best way to support us by far. If you want to go digital, then check the links below too for some digital online credits for your console of choice. Overall, Radical Dreamers is a fascinating text-adventure game. For me, not only was the narrative engrossing despite its simplicity, it has a definite retro appeal and not only stands out by itself, but also massively enhances Chrono Cross due to giving the main character a personality. I think it's essential to play this before you play Chrono Cross. Sure, it's a bit archaic in some aspects, but it genuinely entertained me as you never knew what was coming next. It's short, but well worth at least playing for the main plot. The side plots are fun enough, but not essential, especially due to the lack of quality of life features we'd see in modern VNs. For me, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It is good. Thank you for watching this. If you want to own a copy for yourself, then there are links below in the description to support us. Don't forget to check out my review of Chrono Cross over at Switch Watch, and be sure to subscribe for more great VN content. I missed a couple of weeks due to a mixture of illness and some big projects at Switch Watch, but I've got at least 2 videos in the editing suite as of making this video, so stay tuned for those. We'll see you over there.